Today we're diving into the topic of what to do in a training program if you want to improve your golf game. Whether you're new to training, a beginner, experienced, what we're going to talk about today is to help you build a program so that the work you put in the gym is going to help you on the golf course. In this video, we're breaking down the essentials of building a training program for golfers, and we'll cover how to choose movements for the gym, how often you should train, how to structure your gym sessions, and how to ensure your workouts translate to better performance on the golf course. Let's start with how to choose movements for the gym. The golf swing is a complex movement which requires a lot of strength, mobility, and power, with the key being that we need to do all of these things through a large range of motion. We know having sufficient mobility to complete a swing free of compensations requires many parts of the body to not only independently move well, but also to move well as a system. So the areas we need to focus on moving well are the thoracic spine, the hips, and then the muscles on either side of them, which pretty much means the whole body. So where does that leave us when choosing exercises? In my opinion, you can't go wrong when you're starting your journey if you just start with doing the basics and doing them really well. So think of movements like squats, presses, deadlifts, and rows. By performing these movements well and building a solid foundation of strength and range of motion with them, you can then move into things which are more sexy, like the things that you see all over YouTube and Instagram that the pros are doing. But trust me, when you're starting out, all those sexy things, they shouldn't even be on your radar. These exercises I've just mentioned are all functional movements, which means it's going to help you function as a human and also function on the golf course. This is crucial for your golf swing and will prevent injuries in the short and the long term. And it means doing things like squatting as low as you can without pain, performing an overhead press to full lockout, or a chest to floor push-up with arms fully extended at the top. So I think you get the point here. Now, how often should you train? And for most golfers that I work with, I find that the sweet spot is 3 sessions per week. Too few sessions and we're not going to see results actually show up on the course, and too many sessions means that we might run into problems like overtraining, and that's just going to negatively impact our game, which is not what we want. Plus, this is an amount of sessions per week that can fit into a golfer's life sustainably for the long term. While the things they do within that hour might change over time, and they probably will change over time, the main thing is that the habit is built and etched into the golfer, and it is something that they can continue with forever. Now, even if you are just really brand new to the gym, then I still recommend 3 sessions per week. It just means that these sessions might be shorter, have less volume, and you just have less to do in that time. But at least you're carving out the time to drive to the gym, drive home from the gym, do the things in the gym, and you're etching that habit into your routine so that in the future, when things change, when volume increases, and you follow a different program, at least the structure and the routine of attending the gym 3 times a week is set in stone for you. Given that golf is a game of feel and how the body is moving, it is not ideal to be showing up to the course or practice sessions feeling too sore and the body not moving in the ways that we want it to. So for this reason, I recommend a full body split for golfers. This means training all parts in every session that you do, and I'll tell you why I like this. By performing only a small amount of reps spread across a week on each of the days for the different body parts, we're keeping the soreness levels lower than what it would be if we did something like a conventional body part split, where we're doing arms one day, legs the next day, chest the next day, and biceps the next day. If we're doing this, then we have all of the soreness on each of the body parts throughout the week, and it doesn't spread it across the week. The key thing to remember when we're training is that we need to hit a certain amount of volume across a week, and it doesn't really matter how we do that. So by doing it in a full body split, we're just doing a smaller amount each day, but the total volume across the week is sufficient for us to see gains on the golf course. So when I talk about volume, for beginners, that could mean for growing muscle, we need to build at least 8 to 10 sets per body part per week. For intermediates, this could be up to 15 sets, and for advanced lifters, this could be 20 plus sets per body part per week. So you're probably thinking now, like, what does a full body split actually look like? As an example, for a beginner, I would program a squatting movement, a hinging or deadlifting type movement, an upper body pressing movement, and an upper body pulling movement. This way, it would look like 3 sets of each of these exercises across the 3 days of the week. So it would be 9 sets total. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, doing 3 sets of squats, 3 sets of deadlifts, 3 sets of etc. So that way, you're hitting enough volume across the week in order to make progress. And we're also got days in between for recovery and for practice. The final question is, how do we actually know that this gym work is going to carry over to what we're doing on the golf course and the things we want to achieve on the golf course? For this, it's always my recommendation to perform a movement assessment or a screening. And that's the exact way that I begin working with all of my online coaching clients, because it's the best way in order to figure out what to build for somebody by assessing and not guessing what they need to work on. By performing a movement assessment, we're actually looking at how far you can rotate certain body parts, how stable are certain body parts, and how strong are you in certain body parts. And then also, actually, I didn't mention, how can you move the upper body and the lower body independently of each other so that we can do things like create an X factor stretch for more speed and power in your swing, and also just for better coordination and consistency in your ball striking. Okay, so there you have it. They're the main considerations that I take into account when building out a program for a beginner, and hopefully that's provided you just a little bit of insight as to what I think about when I'm actually developing and building these programs for some of my online clients. If you found this video helpful, firstly, click on the like button below and the subscribe button, because I'm only just going to make more of this content to try and help you guys out. And if there's something I didn't cover in this, which I know there's probably going to be lots of questions for those of you who have stayed to the end of this video, then drop a question in the comments below. I would love to see what questions you guys all have and to answer those for you. Because at the end of the day, I want to be here to support you on your golf fitness journey.